This is a presentation of the United States Australian Football League, the USAFL.
Fullback, okay. Alex C, back pocket, okay.
Hey, voice. All right. Use your voice all day. Use your voice, okay? Swannaroos on three. 1, 2, 3. Swannaroos. Let's go, boys. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Strong in that corner was fantastic.
From Darry Fields in beautiful downtown Dublin, Ohio, just to the west of the capital city of Columbus, nestled on the banks of the Scioto River, this is the 2024 USAFL Super Regionals. This city loves its sport, it loves its Aussie rules football, and we are here for 9 games. The beautiful bridge that we passed by last night, and all of this wonderful welcoming city. And this game here between the Columbus Cats and the Des Moines Roosters. I'm Brian Barish alongside former USA Revolution national team player Dan Sarbacker and current USA coach as the Columbus Cats in the hometown side in the white and the blue hoops take on the Des Moines Roosters in the red, and we are underway. This is Men's Division 2. Each of these teams will play 3 games during the course of the day here, and the winner will be the team with the best record. This is Clyde Simpson as he tries out to the near side. He's going to get his own handball. That's how the wind is. He's going to back up, shimmy to the left, kick this one up high, going up high and marked defensively. And Des Moines will come out, Sars.
Yeah, I'd say of a lot of teams here this weekend, and this game I was excited to call with you, Brian, because there's a lot of experience on both these sides. A couple of Revolution players have already had an impact for Columbus. The Des Moines Roosters, really deep side with a lot of veterans, guys we see year after year. So this will be a great game of football.
Really will be. And Des Moines, I think really had, was hoping to have a good showing, and they did it 2-2 at their tournament that they hosted, the 80-35 tournament, which is a 10-a-side tournament. Columbus working the ball around very well. This is Dean Panic, who is very calm. He sends this one in, looking for the top. Stork McClure is in there somewhere. He picks it up, sends this one for a goal, and did it find the sunny side of the goalpost? Yes, it did. Mark McClure, who at one time was a prospect for the Boston Red Sox, and who has been a fixture on this Cats side, opens the scoring here in Game 2 as they go to 1 straight 6 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Des Moines, no score.
Yeah, McClure, a heck of an athlete. We know him as Stork in the national team program. We'd be an imposing figure, wouldn't he, on the baseball field? I think he stands 6'9", and really a great effort there for big men to be able to pick up their ball off the ground, bend over and get that loose footy. He did it himself and then slotted the major after.
Columbus has a full slate of players. Des Moines does as well. They do have Josh Canterbury up from North Texas to play alongside. We've mentioned this over the course of a couple of games, but we have the men's games here. We have the women's games over. Selectors for the USA Revolution and Freedom national teams trying to figure out who will be playing for their country in Toronto in about 6 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's coming up quickly. So last chance for coaches to solidify their rosters for that tournament.
Ball is up on the far side now, and Simpson sends this one up high. Going to hang in the air. Nice mark again. It's Stork McClure, and he is cementing his dominance in the forward line early. They work it forward, and who is waiting out the back? A defensive player, and Des Moines ends that threat for now.
Yeah, Clyde. Football, I just know because of the way he plays, he's probably racked up 5 possessions already.
Columbus beat Nashville in Nashville early this season, and then they took on a combination Cleveland-Cincinnati side and beat them up in Cleveland earlier last month, as this one is sent in towards the sticks but has gone off to the side for a minor. So 1-1-7 is the score. No score for Des Moines.
You wouldn't know Columbus is going into the breeze. They've had the best bit of play so far.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. I mean, the wind has so far in the game plus that we've called, SARS, has been going to the left of has been going from left to right as we sit here, as the mark is taken. The Roosters founded in 2009 In fact, made their debut in this state down south in Dublin. As he just got the handout, there is Abdullah, who is in there and trying to harry. Oh, there's a big bump put in there for Columbus there in the man in Dennis Steinbeck, and then slapped away into the middle. 2 players going after it.
That's the type of situation Des Moines really excels. They're really great at the up and under, getting the loose ball. If they can start linking up handballs, they'll get the rebound here on Columbus.
Ben Hausner was in there and for Des Moines, and now circling around, going after the ball, just keeping it in play. Handballs it around and just got it free. Columbus retains possession, squares this one up, does Shotwell, and then back the other way. Derek Shotwell in there for Columbus. I believe that's him, and that one is picked off. Columbus maintains possession.
Yeah, another national team list guy. He'd be in from Cincinnati. Really quality kick. Good user of the football there. He gets another possession.
As the ball goes up high, and it gets taken down, and I think pushing the back is going to get called. And in fact, it is. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Des Moines Roosters.
Yeah, so Des Moines steadying a little bit here. Again, their first game of the day. Columbus jumped out early, but Des Moines starting to steady. If they can link up here and start to build forward, I think Columbus is going to have to be more accountable.
As we're talking about Des Moines, we want to say hello to Donnie Hess, Coach Donnie, who's supposed to be here this weekend. Unfortunately, something came up, but we say hello to him and all the work that he's done. We want to plug his weekly podcast, Donnie's Disposal. Actually was on the show last week talking about this very tournament, so if you like the AFL, tune in to Donnie's show because it's pretty great. Meanwhile, in the here and now, here come the Roosters, back the other way, off the hands there of the man in Sean Chico Chacon, who's a fixture on this Des Moines side. We'll have a ball. We talk about the number of Americans in this game. Columbus has a couple of Aussies, but they've mostly been an American side against the Des Moines Rooster, who I think in all their years maybe has had one Australian.
Yeah, a club, and you see that a lot in the Midwest clubs where you just don't have many of the expats or the industries that would draw them to those cities. And so Americans have picked up the game, done the recruiting, built the clubs, really done their best to pick up skills as best they can. So yeah, I think we're seeing a predominantly American game here.
Noah Gracie had the ball for Des Moines, but he's turned it over. And this one is sent up high. The wind's going to blow this one inward. It's a pretty strong wind, but a nice mark all the same. And it was taken by D-Shot. Shotwell, oh, that's not Derek Shotwell. It says number 4 Shotwell, but that is most certainly not Derek Shotwell, as that one is picked up. There's a few numbers that we have that are missing, so you'll have to beg our indulgence.
Pair of number 4s out there for Columbus, so it'll be a little bit confusing. One's got a dark collar on the jumper and one a white collar.
Those are newer jumpers. Now you see a couple. There's the older cats jumpers that have the more traditional numbers. You can tell the newer ones. I'm a big fan of different fonts, as this one is sent in on the way. Mark dead in front.
There's Stork again. He's really, if that ball's in flight, he's going to be hard to outmark. Columbus really a much taller forward line.
And he converts on the mark. That is his second of the game, and Columbus now kicks away. Watch AFL scoreboard. Columbus 13, Des Moines no score.
Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to set up a strategy for Columbus. Work hard through the mids to link up, collect the football, and then make sure you get something in flight that Stork can get underneath.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always, especially in this league, having a tall ruck is worth its weight in gold. Because, listen, there's a lot of tall people that play, especially when we talk about the women's game, they're a little bit harder to find. But to have somebody who you can afford to stick up in that forward line as opposed to playing in the ruck, because we don't see him playing in the ruck. He plays in the forward line almost exclusively.
No, and I think the ball getters and the followers for Columbus really an effective, and the coach obviously trusts them, and so they don't need a dominant ruck. They're content to collect the ball on the ground and then work it forward.
Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in directly across from Dan Sarbacker. And yours truly, want to shout out our crew. We've got Craig Campbell, who's carted his way from Kansas to be behind the camera. Jerry Long, our intrepid photographer turned producer today, and doing a fantastic job getting the hamster wheel up and going as the ball is up on that far side. 2 players back for Columbus. They got to try and get it out of there and make sure. Oh, big! That was a huge hit after he got the ball away, and that somehow or manner somehow or another managed to travel 15 meters. I don't know how in this wind.
Exactly what Des Moines is going to need to do to steady here, and then I don't want to say get back in the game. They're not out of the game, but start to exert themselves a little more is with that physicality. They're not a tall side, but they certainly have the body type to play a really tough brand of football.
McClure did a good job of shoving his way through, and out of all of that, Des Moines going to get a free kick.
So you saw an example there. Stork drew himself back to get involved on the halfback line. There was a clearing kick, but then Des Moines collected that easily, had extra numbers along their halfback.
Ball is locked away like my secrets. You'll never know. And it looked like it was a free kick as Chacon picked it up, and he plays on. Hausner trying to get to it, but couldn't find a good handle on it, just like a greasy suitcase. There's Derek Shotwell as he goes short. Got the ball away quickly. Here's the 55. Throws it on the right. That's a good kick. McClure is angling for, good mark. Good defensive mark taken in the back. You could see he was watching that one-on-one battle, scramble away from a bigger opponent, and got the ball almost at a 45-degree angle to the ground.
I can't get a number on him yet. He's headed off. Is that 22 or 32? From Des Moines. Really fantastic individual effort. Body on the ground, ball in flight. He released to go get that mark. Took a really courageous mark, and then actually was able to connect out, switch the play the other direction.
Blaine Bender is who that was, national team prospect. And Des Moines, good job of reversing the play as this one is sent down. Up on the far side now, and going over to get it is now Shotwell. He's going to go back to go forward, cycling around as we scroll over and tell you that is Ryan Riesiger, who has the footy up on the far side now. And now picking that one up and steaming forward. Here comes up. This is a big swing, no ding, as it was a big fresh air shot. Going to get picked up. A building crowd over on that far side, not only for this game, but also for some of the games past and present, as the ball now finds its way. Little chip kick over the top. Hausner takes the mark and then gets a little bear hug afterwards.
Yeah, Des Moines targeting some of their key players here, trying to link up, get their first forward 50 entry here.
And it's picked up out of the way, though, as that ends quickly, and now up into the cow paddock. Sars and I could be all the way over here and not be in any sort of big hit, as McClure didn't have a clean handle on it, but that was a very clean hit laid in there by Drew Van Winkle.
Well executed, too, to not get him high in that tackle, but Stork immediately up and then applies his own, so he got payback.
And he's lucky. If he would have hit any harder, he would have turned him into Rip Van Winkle. Yeah. He would have been sleeping for a little bit as the ball is taken. And, he lost the footing, and Abdullah is able to get it away.
Hot on the whistle with the tackles, but that was right. Des Moines maybe could argue they had advantage there, but same result here. They're actually connecting up through the middle with a free man.
Alec Dooley was the one who had the football and was sandwiched, and now it's Hausner. Can't miss that. Ginger Locks up on the left side now, over the top, able to get that one down. Gonna get picked up and gonna a little handball over. This is Reuben Smith. Smith with the footy. Couldn't get this one clear and dragged down. I think it is going to be a free. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick. They're going to say it was a good tackle holding the ball for Dooley. I was curious if he was going to call because I think he had his arms over his back, at least from where we were sitting. But it was a good tackle.
Yeah, he might have gotten him just around enough to earn the free there. Yep.
Good tackle put in there, but here is Stork McClure running through, weighted kick. He needed a little bit more weight on it. Long handball back to a cutting Derek Shotwell. Slaloms through, looking like Jean-Claude Keeley. Makes two tacklers mix and has a kick that was pretty awful, ordinary at the end of it, but luckily he had somebody waiting on the doorstep, and it's a shame that they only got 1 point out of that. It looked like one of my Aunt Becky's cookies, Sarb. Looked great coming out of the oven, looked nice and delicious, but crumpled into nothing at the end. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, they go to, what is it now, 14-0. It's 2-2-14 to Des Moines, no score.
Yeah, to continue your analogy, I think we were both sitting forward in our seats as if peering at the oven door, waiting for that one to come out all tasty, and it disappointed in the end.
My favorite part about that is the ball comes out to the near side as Chacon almost took the mark. Mark. The first time I used that in Australia, my dad was listening, and he laughed, and he called me afterwards and said, how do you remember how bad of a cook she was? Because she was awful.
I think those are pretty memorable things, aren't they?
Yeah, and listen, she's been gone for 20 years, and she was a nice woman, but we all have our talents. As the mark was taken out in front by the other number 4, that's not Derek Shotwell, and this one is a ski jump ball high in the air. I think he made contact with it twice, off the shins, able to keep this one in play somehow, and then sent back in the middle by Vanderploeg, and then now going to get picked up and running through the middle. This is Steinbeck trying to find his call of the wild. No, that was London, and that one squares through, and there is Derek Shotwell waiting to just give it a little nudge in between the sticks. And that was a broken play, but it's 6 points all the same for Columbus, and they go on to 3-2-20. Des Moines, no score.
Yeah, it shows you the nature of this game, Brian. Just a minute ago, we're anticipating a really nice build-up. That play there, broken play. In the end, Shotwell gets on the end of it, is able to just kind of keep punching the ball forward to himself until he gets the handle on it, used his pace to pull away, and then slots the 6.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a good job and a really good effort to just kind of, as you said, he has such athleticism to do it, but it was a great setup. We have about 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in this first half. As, again, the second of 8 games that we have for you here on USAFL.com. Pat Machado will be joining us a little bit later. Pat had a very big adventure to get here. We'll just say that. There's storms on the East Coast wreaking havoc with everybody's travel plans. As the ball is sent in now, again, that is Steinbeck. Dropped in front, going to get picked up, turning and firing, but across the face once again, and through for another behind. So another point to Columbus. They go to 3-3-21, and they get the ball back in quickly to Des Moines.
I'm keeping an eye here on 28. Was in the ruck for Columbus. Came up with a corky, I think. It's a knee that's got a bandage on it already, so maybe some structural issues there. But the way he's stretching, I think he had a corky in the middle. That looks like Dennis Steinbeck there. So just keeping an eye on that. Columbus is pulling away a little bit here, but you get a key position player like that maybe comes up with an injury or a little bit sore, can have an impact on the game.
Yeah, they're a pretty deep team. That was John Miller, by the way, who kicked the behind. Not that John Miller, the one who used to call for ESPN with Joe Morgan, but the other John Miller. I should probably try and do. My favorite one, if you ever go online, you should hear him do a Japanese baseball announcer in the style of Vince Scully. The ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw. And Brian Barish alongside Dan Sarbecker. Glad to have your company live here on USAFL.com.
And I'll promise I'll not try any of those impersonations here with you today.
Yes.
It's not in my repertoire.
No, that'll be at the after party after we've had a couple of after some liquid enticement.
Yeah, fair enough.
2.5 minutes to go here in the first term. Again, it is 21-0.
Yeah, sirens going on adjacent field, so that's a good sign. The half is winding down here for us.
Yeah, indeed, and it's getting pretty near the end, as John and Paul once said. The other two teams in this division will tell you in just a moment. And once again, Des Moines trying to get forward, but it is a pretty good defense being put up by Columbus in that back line. They're looking really impressive. This is Hausman, bootlegs around, throws on the brakes. He's got to get rid of it quickly because he had a man behind him. Had a good look out to the near side. It's going to get picked up by Noah as he gets taken down. And out the back, Steinbeck, who's come up pretty well. We mentioned the other two teams in this group. It's the DC Eagles and the Houston Lone Stars. They're playing on the other field right now. They're yelling, saying that they're hot. That's the beauty of having this field mic. We can hear so much from the field. And now it's picked up. Here's the double nickel. Sends this one into the top. The wind is taking it across, but there is Shotwell, who is waiting, makes a man miss, steps forward, and doing.
No, I think that's Clyde. Apologies back home. We're getting so much reflection off the cars. Looking back that direction on the field. It's hard to pick up numbers and players, but I think that was Clyde Simpson on the other end of the mark, and he played on and right into the sticks, so he'd like to have that one back.
It was, in fact, a Wilbur post. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, that takes them on to 3-4-22. Des Moines no score with 1 minute to go here in this first half. And a little handball up over the top. Can Columbus get one more as that one is cleared out the back. Up on the far side, rolling bounce, a finger-breaking, worm-killing daisy cutter picked up out the back. All sorts of room. He's just standing there. And now they're able to get this one free. Oh, he dropped the pill right in front of us. The ball went out of bounds first. It's a boundary throw-in.
Brian, Columbus would be super disappointed in that there. They had numbers. They had 4 players coming to the ball, and Des Moines ends up with a free kick here at the end of this. So a great one-on-4 effort as Des Moines arrived at that contest, and they've got a chance to build up here going inboard.
It was Zach Vanderplug who drove the free kick, and he finds the outside. He got to hurry as this is Noah Gracie. Gracie's got to hurry. He's got maybe 7 seconds to go. He throws this one on the right. Can they get a mark? Looked like it was deflected, so they'll play on quickly. Columbus will kill it, and that should, if our clock is right, be it. As this one is played up high in the middle of the ground. Now we're in time on. Gracie picks it off the other direction.
One good boot here might have an.
It across for Hausner. We are in time on here. Hausner handballs it on, but he's taken down, got it back, gets away from Simpson, puts this one up into the wind, deflects off of somebody in front and will go out of bounds. And just checking who that was Jacob Vanderplug, and there in fact is the siren. Halftime here in game 2 of the USAFL Super Regionals, game 1 of round 2, and the score, it's the Columbus Cats 3 goals, 4 behinds, 22 points. Des Moines no score. And Dan, the story is pretty one-sided, especially when you have a team against the wind. But, I think Des Moines playing decently. It's not a bad game so far, and Des Moines is very much still in this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some adjustments at halftime, and they might find themselves finding some success in front of the goal sticks. But Columbus really probably the story of the half. Yes, going into the wind, we're debating, is this a 2-goal wind? Maybe. So it's not stiff, but a light breeze. And so we'll see if they make any adjustments and are able to utilize that in the second half. In the end, I think, the major ball getters were some of the Revo guys, and that made the difference.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be back with the second half of this one. It's a good game. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2024 USAFL Super Regionals here from Dublin, Ohio, and you're watching it here on USAFL.com.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Coopers. Australian made and owned. Coopers Beer. Aussie Sports USA, the official apparel provider of the USAFL. Odin Mortgage and Tax. Australian mortgages and taxation for expats and overseas residents. CyberSolve IQ, the inaugural cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. Two Hands Restaurant, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL. Stream every match overseas. Brown Brothers, family winemakers since 1889. HBC Event Services. Premier Sports Medicine, and the members of the USAFL.
We're underway here in the second half of this one, and Columbus is going to start this second half as they ended the first with another goal, and they extend their lead on the Watch AFL scoreboard as they now go on to 4-4-28. Des Moines no score. It's the Columbus Cats and the Des Moines Roosters here in Men's Division 2, here on Field 2 in Dublin, Ohio at Dowry Fields. Brian Barish back here with Dan Sarbacker. And Sars, well, that's a pretty darn good start for the Cats.
I reckon exactly how they drew it up at halftime.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think if we walked over and looked at the whiteboard, that's exactly what they would have asked for as they talked and made adjustments at halftime. So they got that tap out of the middle. that quick kick forward. Stork, again, that big man, good on the ground, and was able to continue moving that forward for the points.
Yep, ball back in the middle of the ground once again, and as now comes out to the near side, and it looked like a half Nelson there by being put by the man in Jacob Gross. And, in fact, he did get the free kick out of it.
Bit stiff there. I'm not sure he had prior opportunity, but it was a well-executed tackle.
Mark taken. They'll play on quickly. Picked up by Hausner. Hausner dropped the pill, no call. And he was able to get by it. Now we have a call. And it is going to be kicking in danger. Free kick going to the Cats. Columbus leading 28-0 as they are trying. Oh, McClure just got the mark. Long handball looking for Shotwell. Got it about navel level. Handball over the top. Going to be picked up, and here they come. Just got the handball away, as that was, not sure who that was, but it was 16 who found Shotwell. And now here is Vanderploeg, one of them anyway. He's able to get a little shovel ball over. And then again, drop the pill with contact. That's a free kick. Yep, holding the ball. It was very indescript, but that's enough to be considered a free kick.
Yeah, incorrect disposal is what that is. He had opportunity. There was a chance for him to execute a handball in there, and because of the result of the tackle, dropped it.
Sends this one into the middle of the ground. Bounces away. Again, the Cats swarming on their prey here. Backwards handball. This is going to be a good opportunity, but in fact, it is going to end up going out of bounds. That's probably the best result on a broken play like that for something like that. It's going to be a free kick. It is going to, or a boundary throw-in rather. That is probably the best that they could hope for.
Yeah, Des Moines.
Oh no, that is a behind.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Yeah, behind there. Critical juncture in the game. They've got to stem the flow here. They've really got to start to push forward more. The Cats are really putting pressure on, particularly on the scoreboard, to run away with this one.
So they signaled it. Their scoreboard did not pick it up, but we will. It's 29-0 now. The flag did get waved. What happened was, and we'll explain here, the umpire, I don't know that's a boundary umpire's call. The goal umpire stuck her hand up. And you have to understand the orange shirts there, those are in training. So they are learning. They've got an umpire, a higher level umpire with them. She put her hand up, which signaled that the ball went out of bounds. She then reversed her call. We saw the flag get waved, so that's 1 point to Columbus. As the ball comes out in front, now they're another chance again. McClure's got to go all the way down. He's 6'9" tall. Found the man, but the ball slipped through his hands, and it gets wiped out to the near side. Kicks that one onto his own advantage, but it's picked up nicely by the Roosters, and he is wrapped up for Christmas. And we'll have a ball up in front.
Geez, I've been really impressed with Stork's fitness. He has gotten around that forward line and really caused some trouble. You wouldn't think for a big man to be doing that much damage on the ground, but believe it or not, that's where he's doing it.
Stokely Onuba is the name of number 50 there for Columbus. I think he's relatively new. I haven't seen him before, but he's
good pace.
Yeah, very good pace, and that's what they need. He complements Shotwell and Simpson well, as this one gets blocked back into the field of play as they find a cutting player across the face on the outside of the boot. A little check shot, if you don't mind. That was worth a goal and a half almost, but, in some other metaverse, but it's just 6 points here. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, the Cats continue to claw the Roosters. As we find the scoreboard, it takes them on to 35. Des Moines no score. So what would that be? 5-5-35 to Des Moines no score.
Yeah, clever, really clever off the boot there. His body was traveling in an unfavorable direction for the goals, but he managed to apply the appropriate drop outside of the boot and swung that right back into the sticks.
Brian Barish alongside Dan Sarbacker with you here today. We're just looking up information on Stokely, originally from Houston, Texas. He's, let's do the math here, 27 years of age. And playing here for the Columbus Cats, as we said, very good. He's there sort of in the middle of the play there, number 50, and going after the pill. Columbus is a team, we founded in 2008. They originally were the Columbus Jackaroos, and of course their women's team was the Gillaroos back in the day. Of course, they're all under the Cats banner, as they have been since 2018. There's a chance again. Here's another shot for a goal, and is across the face. I think he may have snuck that one home, and he has. So another goal for the Cats as they now go to 6-5-41 on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
Yeah, that play really built up from the midfield. Again, Columbus's midlines exerting themselves here. They've had the pressure. They're collecting the football. They're getting it moving forward and providing that forward opportunity for them. They've done it time and time again. I think for Des Moines to get back in this game, they've really got to solidify in the middle. The followers need to find ways to apply tackles, tie up the ball, get to a point where they've got the opportunity to pick up the football.
Just a little over 6 minutes gone here in this second 20-minute half. Out to the near side once again, and now Columbus, see, I believe at this point, I mean, unless Des Moines can saddle the horses pretty quickly, I think the result is not in doubt, but the question will be percentage, especially, again, remember, these 3 games, it's just whoever has the best record at the end of these 3 games winning. The first tiebreaker, we keep saying that word percentage. Perhaps you want to explain what that is.
Yeah, so one of the tiebreakers often looked to in these games, and something we would use, for example, in pool play or something where teams are tied, is percentage, and that's goals for over goals against. So right now, in practical terms, Columbus is mounting on percentage, and Des Moines needs to get on the scoreboard to add some more of their own points.
Right now, there are percentages infinity unless Des Moines can change that. As this one is in, 2 bites at the cherry, a nice mark over the top. Good defensive mark, and good job to stem the tide as Des Moines thought they would have had an opportunity. And up on the far side now. Here come the Cats, sending this one down the way. 2-on-1 contest. Goes through Abdullah. Is able to try to get through it, but it slipped through his hands like a greased watermelon. Handball out the back to Vanderplug. He comes out to the near side. This is Zach Vanderplug. He runs his full measure. Sends this one down at a nice, easy mark to Hauser in the center of the ground.
Geez, well executed by Vanderplug there. Coming off a halfback. Found his target in the middle. Nice low kick.
Looking to go across. We have a whistle as he was looking for the number 12 there, who we don't have. Worth mentioning, we do have a number of players. For whatever reason, the numbers, they don't have, the numbers don't match up. That is the USAFL way.
Yeah, teams cobble things together. Often travel sides, somebody pulls out late. They do the best they can, and the reality is sometimes you end up with a couple of duplicate numbers and jumpers, and the kits aren't full, complete kits always. So it's just the nature of the game here. We don't have quite as many resources in Australia.
Such as it is. And we're doing our best. We say 50 teams, 25, about 2,000 or so people involved. And if you want to get involved, by the way, you can visit us at usafl.com. We have a new website coming, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. And, of course, you can join us on our socials, facebook.com/USAFL, and everywhere else we're at, USAFL 1997.
Yeah, awesome opportunity for athletes that want something a little more competitive than beer league softball with the company team. There's touch versions of the game and lots of ways to get involved. And for those of us that love it, we think the athleticism, the strength, the speed, it's a really unique game and fun to be involved in.
And worth mentioning as well, men and women. We have women's teams over on our left there where we have Tim Continenza, who just joined us over here momentarily. He's calling the matches over there. That's a 3-team round-robin tournament over on field 3 to our left. Here on field 2, where the Cats are in 7th heaven here. I was going to say something about having 9 lives, but they may have gained some extra lives in Super Mario fashion. As the ball's up on the far side now, and that is a rolling tumbleweed of humanity, and then eventually it is going to get picked up and done so by Jacob Gross. He has 144 horsepower. That's what a Gross is, right? Or Reams or something, I don't know. As the ball is on the outside, and in the intense side of the ground, because there are people over there intense. As now this one is sent forward, a little handball across the way, a little stiff arm, don't argue, and that would have gotten up too high, and it will be a ball up. Thought that would have been a free kick.
I can't figure out number 9 for Columbus there. Was kind of sick of seeing the Des Moines hand guy's handball. I says, well, I'm taking this into my own hands. That's enough of that.
James Smith, who actually might be one of the Australians that we mentioned for Columbus. 41-0 the score. Columbus again playing here at home, and this is the first time that they've played at home since the 2014 in a USAFL tournament since the 2014 Nationals. Here's Des Moines trying to get on the scoreboard as that one is sent in, and in fact it is going across and will go out of bounds.
Brian, you mentioned the women earlier. We're actually coming up on the 15th anniversary of what we believe is the first women's international footy competition. And I was lucky enough to be involved in that side as an international coach. We took the women's national team on tour to Australia in 2009.
And your sister Jenny was on that tour, I believe.
Yep, she was. She was a crack player at a few best on grounds in that tour. So, yeah, shout out to her if she's listening.
Premiership winner with the Milwaukee Bombers.
Atlanta Kookaburras, Milwaukee Bombers. She racked up a few flags in her playing days.
Yep, indeed. And
the better Sarbacher, everyone reminds me that she was.
You know, I'm sure she was pretty. I think you were both pretty good in your own right, but she was pretty good as well.
Fair enough.
As the ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in once again. We see the Denver Bulldogs getting ready. They're the next game up on this field as they take on the Baltimore Dockers in Division One. Denver, the defending Division One men's champs. This one is in front. Columbus trying to add to their lead, but Des Moines saying, no, not today. And back the other way they come, up the far side. Good kick, finding Hausner. Hausner looks up, plays this as a good booming kick, but just overcooked it a little bit. 2 players on there, and then finally going back and holding them up. And umpire Steve Arnott, who has called several hundred of these games, will adjudicate a ball up on the far side.
We always focus heavily on transitions, Brian, and often teams that win those win the games. In this, we see that space opening up in the middle of the field. Des Moines been able to, with some really well-executed kicks, move the ball forward, but eventually that transition play slows down and things have gotten bogged down because of Columbus's stingy defense.
Ball goes in, and that one was a deft little kick off the ground. He's wearing American flag shorts or compressors or something. Handballs it in, and then that one is kicked forward again by Patrick Gallagher. As Gallagher sends that one forward. Des Moines trying to get out of jail, and they do for now. Up on the far side, right in front of that food truck that I'm going to be eating at in a couple of days because I haven't had breakfast yet. As the ball goes out of bounds, there's Jacob Gross once again for Des Moines. As we have about, 7.5 minutes to go, just under 7.5 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, I think the result is not in question at this point, but I think both sides would want to run this out. Des Moines especially would want to see, can we hit the scoreboard? Can we link up with the handballs, which appears to be a little more their style of play, trying to free up, although those kicks have been effective when they've been able to get them through the middle.
Ball goes down, and good job of a little bit of hustle, and that's going to be pushing the back. I think that was just a little unfortunate missed timing there, and I think that was Abdullah who came in just a little bit too late on there, and it'll be a free kick. Joey Abdullah, another veteran of this Roosters team. We said at the top of the show, SARS, a team that is largely is completely American, has been completely American. Maybe with one exception. I know Donnie Hess is listening. He'll probably correct me on that. I feel like they may have had 1 or 2 Aussies. Tyler Cameraman, who is played in Orange County, moved to Des Moines and started the club. I remember 2009 meeting him for the first time. Excited. We had Des Moines and Columbus come in the same year. And as this one is turned for goal, Columbus is going to extend their lead here. And that one is off to the side and through for a behind.
Des Moines puts on a great early season tournament, kind of a kickoff tournament, the 80-35 every year. It's a small-sided game. Something else kind of unique to the States or that we started here is stuff that'll fit on smaller fields. So 9-a-side or 10-a-side games. A little bit different format, faster pace. Certainly a lot of scoring because right out of the tap in the middle, you're within range of goal.
6-6-42 to no score. Yeah, I've been meaning to get out there for that. They put on a really good show. They had a 5-team round robin this year, and they went 2-2. A year after coming very, very close last year, almost nipped Minnesota in the grand final. But they're a good solid D3 side. They've played in D3 for a while, and winners of Division 4 back in 2012. So team that knows how to play, team that is very well skilled, especially, again, for a team that doesn't have any Australians. And they are looking for an opportunity to get on the scoreboard here as this one goes into the corner, into the pocket, and that one is thrown away, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Oh, they were building there, and we were really hoping, but probably overused the hands a little bit. They got enough of those handballs and had freed themselves up, and were waiting for that kick, that shot on goal, and it the decision instead to go to the hands one more time.
Ball goes back to the ground, high up in the middle, swatted out of the air. Here comes Columbus once again. That was, that was a one-handed handball. I don't know, unless that was an optical illusion of some sort. Of course, my eyes aren't the best anyway, and this one is picked up, and this one is sent across the ground, high up in the air, and the mark is taken by the capped number 16, finds McClure. Stork sends this one high and deep, and he's almost had a connection, but there are 3 hooped jumpers there. One of them won the raffle, sends this one in up on the way, and the wind may have taken that one across the face, and it is through 4 behind. Give that one to Steinbeck, and another point for the Cats on the Watch AFL scoreboard. 6-7-43 to no score.
Cats getting the numbers there. They had 3 here in the mids, collected the football there, got it forward. 3 with 1 or 2 man advantage in the forward line again. Didn't execute the kick in the end, but they're really exerting themselves at this point.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that's the thing, and we keep talking about it. We've talked about it with the other ones. Remember, these guys are going to play 3 games today. They have 2 more games. They're going to be playing 120 minutes of football, which in the AFL or perhaps in Australia, if you're watching us, there's 2. We're talking about a game and a half in one day. So that is really a lot of exertion, especially. The weather's not too bad right now. It's only 71 degrees right now Fahrenheit, and the humidity is relatively low. There's a decent breeze. It's definitely a lot different than when we were in Olathe, Kansas last year, as Columbus has another opportunity for the Sticks, and this one has gone through for a goal. The 2-finger salute you can show on TV, and Columbus now just padding the advantage. They go on the Watch AFL scoreboard to 7-7-49. Des Moines no score.
Yeah, for those maybe tuning in overseas, making it a late night of it in Australia and watching some of the USA games, 19, 20 degrees Celsius, a very pleasant day, but the heat's rising, the breeze is there, and it's a little on the cool side, which is refreshing, but not strong by any sense of the imagination. But we're going to heat up a bit today. It's going to get warm.
High is 82, as that's what the forecast high is today. But there's no rain about. There was some storms yesterday that actually, I think, cooled things down. When we came to the field, Sarzen, we were here, you were here for it was an informal training camp with the Freedom and the Revolution, again, ahead of the Transatlantic Cup in August. The weather, by the time we had gotten here, was nice and cool. It was a very pleasant late evening, and a good time to get some skills in.
Yeah, it pushed that very brief shower pushed the heat and humidity out that had hung around through the first part of the day. And so, yeah, we're on to some pleasant weather, which is nice, and Columbus is cruising here to a pleasant victory.
Yeah, as this one goes up high, that's McClure. Saw it go through his hands. And now it comes out in the middle of the ground, up high, going to be picked up. This is Ben Markham, the former Columbus Cat, as he gets it away. Former Cat, former Denver Bulldog, and then Chacon had it. Now throws that one onto the right. It tails away, and it stays in play. And he's going to have an easy shot at goal from an odd angle, but it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. That was John Miller, and that is the 8th goal of the game for Columbus. They go on to 8-7-56. Des Moines no score. Watch AFL scoreboard with 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think, so we can start to kind of summarize what we've seen here today in the second match. In comparison to the first, the pressure was just really intense in that first game, the St. Louis-Nashville game. A little less so here. The cast of characters there on that last play are probably some of the ones worth mentioning on the day. Chacon's had a lot of the football, really good pace. I'm not sure how new he is to the game. Still developing his kick, it looks like. But another forward 50 entry, Stork on the end of one of those, as he's been almost all day. So they're getting what they want, I think, Columbus, out of their setups.
It's funny you say that because Chacon is actually one of their stalwarts. He's been around probably about a decade. Listen, we're all still working. Listen, I've done 200. This is my 295th game, and I'm still working on it, on doing the commentary right, as this one is another goal to the Columbus Cats out in front, and they now are just, it is party time on the right side of the field, and they now go on, as we find the scoreboard somewhere over there, they go on to 9-7-61 to no score.
Yeah, and he got a goal out of that one, which was fantastic. He worked straight out of the middle to get that. it looks like he's straight back into the middle. He's got his tail up a little bit, so he's got some energy. 2 more games have been out this tournament. We got a heck of a lot of the football this game, so good on him.
Yeah, really did. I mean, they're definitely getting a lot of. That's the thing, a lopsided game like this. It's important when you don't play as many games to get as many reps as they can. That is the final sound, the final say on this game, as the Columbus Cats 9 goals, 7 behind, 61 points. The Des Moines Roosters nothing. And listen, the Des Moines Roosters. Listen, it's a shutout. But they can take some good things into the next game. They didn't play terribly.
No, some really good sequences. I think we weren't able to watch the entirety of the adjacent match, but Columbus, you'd say, they're the class of this division at this point. But Des Moines shouldn't hang their heads. The scoreboard wasn't favorable, but they certainly had a lot of sequences they could be proud of. Collected a lot of the football, some good hard tackling, some good body bumps, and some really, really well executed kicks through the guts, just not able to continue the sequences.
Well, we will see one of these teams a little bit later on. We'll tell you in just a moment.
I think we see Columbus maybe once or twice more, which is fun for the home crowd and have them on the broadcast.
They are actually the pivot team. Their next game is coming up at 1 o'clock Eastern time when they take on a Houston Lone Star side that they're a good, solid D2 national team. We'll have to see how they go against them. They've played them a few times over the years. So we'll see what happens. Our next game coming up on this field features the Baltimore Dockers as they take on the defending champion Denver Bulldogs here on Field 2. Our thanks to Dan Sarbacker for calling this one, as well as Jerry Long and Craig Campbell have brought to you today's. For everybody here has brought to you today's game. My name is Brian Barish. We'll see you next time here from Dublin.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Coopers. Australian made and owned. Coopers Beer. Aussie Sports USA, the official apparel provider of the USAFL. Odin Mortgage and Tax, Australian mortgages and taxation for expats and overseas residents. CyberSolve IQ, the inaugural cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. Two Hands Restaurant, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL, stream every match overseas. Brown Brothers, family winemakers since 1889. HBC Event Services, Premier Sports Medicine, and the members of the USAFL.